The interpretation and the reason why Omoyele Sowore said Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a thief. Me, generally, I believe this whole system are robbers. They've robbed us of our freedom of movement. Do you understand? Yes. I am not a fan or a supporter of Omoyele Sowore because, to be very honest, I don't support a lot of things. I feel like he does not have structure and he does not even know what he represents at the end of the day. If you want a better country, there are some things that you support that I just wonder why he does that. But that doesn't mean that we are going to turn our blind eyes or we are going to turn deaf ears to what is very much obvious. The justice system of Nigeria keeps failing every day.
The news sent me to prison because he said I was absent for one day. When he himself was absent the day before, and I went to look for a lawyer. The lawyer told him that he said he can't accept the lawyer's position. So it could be government position. It's a government employee anyways. So I'm waiting for them to process the prison papers and we're back on Wednesday. So you may not hear from me directly because they will definitely see.
Now, all I can see here is corruption in the justice system of Nigeria. First things first, why are they remanding him Kuje prison? According to how the matter went, Omoyele Sowore has a case in court where, according to the DSS, according to the charges, that he called President Bola Ahmed Tinubu a thief. Right, so they asked him to prove it, and the case has been going on for a long time. And then recently, Omoyele Sowore was in court. He was in court with his people, but guess what? The court revoked his bail and claimed that he was never in court, even though there is video evidence that Omoyele Sowore was in court. Well, I want to believe that they actually played a trick. You know, there's a trick that they play where if they don't want you, you are in court, but they will actually go and do a Zoom video call. You are in court, but they will actually go and do like a Zoom video call. They will not invite your lawyer, or they will send the invitation late. There's a way they do it. They can send the invitation for the Zoom, maybe like that kind 12 a.m. Your lawyer feel no siam, or you say feel no siam. Then they will just say you did not appear in court and there was no show. So therefore they will revoke your bail, right? But such thing does not make any sense because there's video evidence. But at the end of the day, they pretty much want to put him there. They just want him there for a reason. Now, let's come to the issue of Omoyele Sowore calling President Bola Ahmed Tinubu a thief. Is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu a thief? I don't know the interpretation of what Omoyele Sowore used. But in my own interpretation, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu government have robbed us of a lot of things. Access to our farmlands, access to good roads, not good roads in the terms of good roads, access to secured roads. How many people can travel by road in Nigeria since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came into office? How many people can go into their farmlands since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came into office? As I speak to you today, the whole northern region have been taken over by terrorists and bandits. They post on TikTok, you have robbed us of our freedom of movement in Nigeria. Freedom of movement, even though there are budgets for this, where is the budget going into? So if they ask me, I'll say it's administration. They are thieves. They have taken the lot from us Nigerians. And there's nothing to show for it. We'll just be hearing these big numbers online, but nothing makes sense. Do you understand? So I don't know the interpretation and the reason why Omoyele Sowore said Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a thief. Me, generally, I believe this whole system are robbers. They've robbed us of our freedom of movement. Do you understand? Yes. I am not a fan or a supporter of Omoyele Sowore because, to be very honest, I don't support a lot of things. I feel like he does not have structure and he does not even know what he represents at the end of the day. If you want a better country, there are some things that you support that I just wonder why he does that. But that doesn't mean that we are going to turn our blind eyes or we are going to turn deaf ears to what is very much obvious. The justice system of Nigeria keeps failing every day. And that is why Wike is buying houses for appeal court judges. And very soon they will also do another estate again for high court judges. So how do these people know the law? What will these people say about the law? So therefore, nobody will be able to speak in the nearest future. That's what it means. Nigeria is slowly going. The only thing that we have is to talk and cry out. It's not as if people create any option for us. We might not agree with Omoyele Sowore's technique, which me myself, I will never ever rate him. I don't rate him. He wants to be president. Which president? You have no structure. And so he can never be, like I said before, now that SUG president will be before Nadia day. But there's one thing that is certain, he never lied. When he said about this whole Tinubu government thing, like I said, I don't know the interpretation of this one, but he never lied in this particular matter. This particular government has robbed off us a lot of things. And it's 100%. Well, it's till Wednesday, then it's going to come out. And as for DSS, I don't think this case is a case. I don't think this case is a case. DSS, we know you people are secret service, highly covert. Now you do covert operation. This thing now waiting when I will just give civil defense or police, defamation of character of the president. I feel like if somebody said that he's just pushing this thing. I don't think Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself will want to push something like this. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, how many things he talk about Jonathan? How many things did Bola Ahmed Tinubu say about Jonathan? He said a lot of things against Jonathan. Nobody arrested him. Nobody arrested him. So all of these things DSS they do now, you don't need it. This case should not even be going on in the first place. I swear to God. What's there? They insult Donald Trump every day. They insult Donald Trump. Don't see where they know they call Donald Trump. Donald Trump don't carry people to court or say you want to lock up somebody.
Omoyele Sowore has been remanded in Kuje prison today by the court in Abuja. We all know that the case between Omoyele Sowore and DSS has been going on for a while. When he called President Bola Ahmed Tinubu a criminal, they have been dragging him to court for a while now. And initially, judge actually granted Omoyele Sowore temporary bail. You know, he was on bail, he was free and going to court while this case was going on. But however, today the court just withdrew that bail, and meaning that they've remanded him in Kuje prison. Even though Omoyele Sowore's legal team has already asked the judge to step aside because they believe that the way the judge was handling the case was unfair, he was biased, or there were some internal or external interest and conflicts with the case. The judge actually rejected that request, and today they remanded him in Kuje prison pending the next court sitting. And the case continues. To be honest, this is just oppressive. I'm not gonna lie. You see, if care is not taken, if care is not taken, everybody speaking up against injustice in Nigeria, everybody speaking up against oppressive governance, including those that are speaking for people to go get their PVC. If care is not taken, they will all be cooling off in one prison or the other before the election or during the election. Now, I'm just going to say this, looking at the case of Omoyele and looking at what has been happening for the past couple of months now, since VeryDarkMan was in China, when Michi came at him, Fina came, then Bayo Onwan Otunga came as well. After that, you know, VeryDarkMan came back. The protest happened. We've been hearing a lot of gist here and there. VeryDarkMan was paid. Then they went to Oyo State, carry out a protest from nowhere. Youths of particular concern, worthless and pathetic set of youths came from nowhere, decided to attack them. Nothing from the Nigerian police, nothing from Oyo State Police Command. Even though they fired a shot while that protest was going on. The police officers with the protesters, peaceful protesters, did not do anything. Then fast forward to just 2 days ago, where Auntie Blessing from Edo State came out and, you know, wrote a petition that EFCC should investigate VeryDarkMan, Adeyanju, and, you know, citing that VeryDarkMan is sponsoring or he's financing terror, money laundering and all that. See, if you put one on one together, you will know there's an agenda here to cage every strong voice. I'm not talking about politics now, but I'm being very political. Everything and anything you see happening to Omoyele Sowore is not just because of political ambition. It's not because he's going to win or he's going to make any noise. It's the fact that they don't want anyone speaking up. Let's watch. They are playing and they are planning something. I hope it won't work out.
At this point, I need to stand in solidarity with Sowore because this is Tinubu DSS. DSS have become Boy Scout. Look at the display. The useless, arrogant display of the secret police in this country. Look at what Tinubu have done them to. Like a Boy Scout, like a useless NSAS that was not even ended in the Nigeria police. Like nonsense SARS. You literally, like, you're in the courtroom, like everything. If there was sentence, the law have to say it anytime, and he's even ready. There's no need for, he came with his bag. He said he came with his bag prepared to go to prison today, so there's no need for this nonsense display. So at the end of the day, this is why we always say that okay, there is need for unity, because Sowore, I used to go for every of your movement, your log, your cause, your protest, but you choose segregation, you choose separation within people fighting for the betterment of this country, and we begin to ask ourselves, is there a political gain to all of this? Now look at it. Now look at it. Look at the way you're being treated, man. I just feel you are biased. That's the problem, in your opinion. Now Chacha is arrested. You have not said anything about it. You have seen it. So I don't know about these VDMs. I will peace and love. Release Sowore now. Tinubu. Now wow, you fight for democracy. You'll be worse than the person who fight for democracy.